Are we live yet?
No, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted.
Me too.
I need some money. I'm conflicted. I'm very conflicted.
Oh,
All right.
we all know that.
I'm very conflicted.
Yes,
I got
you
it.
are.
30 seconds. This thing raise up a little bit. Oh my gosh. 15 seconds, folks. We're almost there.
Waiting for the bottle and iron.
Yeah. Something like that. I hope they can't see, yeah. Oh, folks, welcome to the show. My name is Chris, and my co-host tonight is Mr. Les, and almost every night, right?
Almost, yeah, almost.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But my light is a little bright. But anyway, welcome to the podcast, man. We got a show tonight, man. This is gonna be. We might be hated after I get done talking. I'm gonna be very hated.
I already hate you.
You hate me already? Well, that's not fun. I mean,
That's what my wife says.
Oh my gosh, you hate me? Oh my gosh, don't be hating me.
What are you doing with the lights, dude?
I'm turning it down all the way. I don't know why it's so bright. There we go. You know what? I think I need to go a little. Let's go a little yellower.
It's shining light on your Harley hat. That's what it's doing. See, I've got my Harley hat on too.
Yeah.
I got my
With
sweatshirt
my Indian sweatshirt.
Yeah.
I'm a little conflicted now after that release today. So.
Oh yeah, you are.
Yeah. The RR.
Wow.
RR.
The RR.
He's toting a highly controversial
Oh
look.
my gosh, yeah. So Indian and Harley tonight. That's what I'm gonna ride. What are you doing? I'm putting a chopper together.
Not me. So, watched that release video of the Roguelite RR today.
Yeah.
If it weren't for the price tag, that would probably be the bike that would get me off of my Indian, honestly.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. What does everybody want, right? They want more power and a bagger. Something that they can go out and tour on and tear up the road too. So,
I don't know, man.
That's
I'm very conflicted with this thing, man. I'm telling you right now.
Me too. That's why we're wearing Harley hats and Indian shirts. I mean, it's got us all messed up.
Yeah. Yeah. So all right. So here we go, guys. Give us a thumbs up. You're going to like this podcast. This is going to be crazy. And also subscribe if you haven't subscribed. You just started watching this? Hey, welcome aboard. As you've probably known, our name used to be Iron Pony Life, and we changed that just a few weeks ago. We had some issues with nobody, actually. It was actually a different kind of issue that we were dealing with. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just rebrand the whole entire thing and just get it over with. And that's what I did. So I rebranded. And after about $1,100 later,
Literally, yes.
yeah, literally, yeah. This is where we're at. So we're here, man.
that.
We're here at Throttle and Iron, man. We had how many names did we have? List.
Oh man, I bet we probably looked at a couple dozen names.
Yeah, it was insane.
It was
Very
a very
insane.
long ride to where'd we go?
Yeah, well, we went to Iron Pony
Columbus.
actually. Yeah, we went to Iron Pony, and Iron Pony has always been nice to us. We've never had any issues. I've done rides up there. I've had a podcast named Iron Pony Life, and they've never had any issues with this. And I just said, I think it's best to because when we started Iron Pony Life, it was about iron was pumping iron. Okay, the pony was the motorcycle, and life was the Jeep. So we had a lot of things, and we're going to do like a adventure kind of podcast. And it didn't turn out that way. We mostly focus on motorcycles now, since that's what we want to do. And it's been a great ride. I mean, I've had Josh on here, which has been great. I've had you on here. I've had Tracy on here. I've had Max on here. I had a bunch of my friends, and none of these, I'm going to be honest with you, when I started this thing, the only friend I already had was Tracy. Okay. And then I met you at the Indian dealership. And then, I was actually hanging out with Josh already at that time at the IMRG, but we wasn't really close friends. I mean, we're just, we would come into the meetings and say, hi, how you doing? Hey, man, that kind of stuff. But then we started hanging out. And then I just started including everybody into the podcast. So basically that's how it started. So
I have ulterior motives for this whole thing,
Yeah, you do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully we can become famous, become ambassadors to Indian or Harley. I don't care which one, guys. Just one of you pick us, all right, please. And we get to ride bikes full time. That's really kind of that's my motive here.
I think what they need to do is do one of each. So one Harley and one Indian, and then we'll be 100%. We can actually do both sides of the story. We also have
one. Yeah. You take one, I'll take the other. I don't care which.
Yeah. I'm more a fan of Harley. I like Indian. Don't get me wrong. But what's going on, Connie? You got a phone call over there?
No, I'll just be the Harley ambassador, and you guys can just.
What are you doing? Text messages or something? You're listening to your voicemail? Come on, man.
No, I didn't know if
we're in the middle of a podcast.
I didn't know if Les was up loud enough.
Oh, I think he is. He's pretty loud. Do I need to turn you up? Is that what I need to do?
No, my earphones are totally different.
Well, I can hear whatever that is on your mic.
Turning it down. Cool your jets.
Anyway.
Hey, Riding Fish.
Hey, Riding Fish. Hey, Riding Fish. I'll send you a link if you got time. You can just jump on. Hold on a second. Let me. If he wants one, I can have him get on here if he wants to. And that'd be cool. He can talk about his little Indian trip. But anyway, welcome to the podcast. I can't see the comments. Connie's got him tonight, so she's going to be taking care. Well, she's not really taking care of him. She just,
You won't let me have any control.
Here, you can have the mouse.
Nope, that's okay.
Take the mouse.
No,
I need you to take the mouse.
No, that's right.
Take the mouse. Oh my gosh, she don't want to do nothing.
There's a little bit of a conflict here. There's a conflict here since you put that one ad in for a sound technician for your podcast.
Yeah.
Now she's revolting. Way to go.
That's right.
now she's going to be asking me, "Where's the mouse at? Where can I can't find it."
wait till you see. When she sees you advertise it as a paying position and you're not paying her anything.
That's right. There's going to be real trouble.
Yeah. What did Roddy? I haven't even seen the comments right now.
He just said, "Hey."
Hey. So let me know. I'll send you a link if you want to be like a little special guest. I'll bring you on. Yeah, you can start cleaning up your desk and all that kind of stuff. I know you've been editing and stuff, and there's a bunch of tapes and stuff on top of your desk and stuff. Just go ahead and get that decluttered. And then, I'm just kidding.
That's my desk.
Riding Fish, June, I can't, seats are free, June 2nd. Is it 3rd? June 2nd to the 3rd? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I think it is.
Yeah, maybe we can meet you somewhere in Tennessee. If you want to. Anyway. All right. So as you guys know, Harley-Davidson, man, brought out a motorcycle today. And I'm going to tell you guys, you might as well tell your friends, this is going to get bad. I'm very disgusted. I'm pissed. I sent Max that my wife caught me packing my house up, and it's going to be a bad deal. Yeah, I'm going to have to sell my house to pay for this motorcycle because there's only one of what?
131. So I have it up here. I've been reading about it.
Mm-hmm.
Limited to.
Yeah, it's a bad deal. I'm gonna take over for a second here, Connie. You got me clicked on something here. There we go.
Told you not to give me the mouse, man.
I know. I need to get the comments back over here, probably. Let's see if I can do that.
Riding Fish said send it.
Send the link. Okay.
Send it.
All right. So.
Yeah, 131. 131 right there.
All right, 131. Okay, so I got to get, let me get him a link here, and we'll get this guy on here.
Sweet.
Yeah, I got to go to my special Titan email here.
Now, why did they just pick 131?
That's the engine. That's the engine size, Givey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
I thought that was a different number for a different resource. Okay, Les.
All right. Let me see if I got the right email.
I got nothing.
You don't got nothing?
I got nothing.
All right. I'm working. Keep talking about this motorcycle while I'm doing this.
Well, I watched the press release on it, the video. Really a good looking bike. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it has some race heritage with it. And some race DNA built into the bike, if you will. And this is the kind of bike I would like to see
Mm-hmm. Yep.
put out in mass. Like I said, this is probably the bike that would get me to come off of my Indian and move back to a Harley.
Wow.
When I had my Street Glide, I was trying to do everything in the world to pump up the horsepower and get the torque
Mm-hmm.
up, and and just make it this screamer. And so something out of the box like this, you're running, I think it said 150 horsepower if I remember right. Something out of the box like that with a couple of bags on it. I think this thing would sell so fast they couldn't make enough of them if they had them priced if they had them priced right.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I want to delete you for a second, Connie. I'll be right back. We'll see what happens here. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, you're done.
I never.
All right. So I sent that link to you. You should be having it in there anytime. Let me see thing. Oh, there we go. We got comments now. So I got comments, guys. I can actually put them on there. So we got that sent. Welcome to the podcast once again. We got Riding Fish maybe jumping on here in a second. I got to set some things up. This wasn't planned, folks. This wasn't planned. We got a special guest. So I'm going to do some editing here and get this guy on there on the camera here.
you didn't get it. You didn't get it to Riding Fish fast enough. He says send it, and then he says sometime today, Junior.
Oh my gosh, you did not send it?
Nice, Riding Fish.
All right, go for it, man. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. I think it's in your email. It should be in your email, bro. So let me make sure I sent it. Yep, I did send it. So it is in your email. So all right, let me part of this, guys, this is we're right on the fly here.
So what have you said about this motorcycle so far? This
Well,
release?
I guess we'll get his commentary too, so I don't want to say much about it.
Well, that's why I'm being vague.
We haven't said nothing, actually, to tell you the truth.
He said it was a 131 engine, right?
Yeah, it was a 131 engine.
Yeah, 131. It's 150 horsepower, 150 foot-pounds of torque at 6,500 PM redline. I'm trying to remember. I think the stock twin cams were 5,500.
Mm-hmm.
I think is the red line, and we used to.
You know what? Okay, I'm not hearing him, so let me know that you haven't got it yet. Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you, but I didn't hear him. He might be checking his email, so we'll see how it goes here.
That's
Go
right.
ahead. What were we saying? Sorry.
But no, it says 6,500 RPM red line, and I think it's what we used to set our twin cams up to whenever we would change the rev limiter with the tuner and that kind of thing. So, no, it's really evident that, like I said, this thing has some race DNA built into it.
Mm-hmm.
Carbon fiber, some one-off parts. As the actual forks on the bike are the same forks that are used on the racing bikes. The brakes are the same brakes that are used on the race bikes. They're all one-off stuff. So, again, if they would put this thing out in mass,
Yep.
I think it'd sell like crazy. Now, one of the things that they did too was they increased the lean angle of the bike. I think they added another degree or two to the bike.
Mm-hmm.
And during the bike seems perfectly capable of leaning over further than what they've built it to do. They said that when they tested it on the racetrack, said they had to replace the exhaust on this prototype model that they showed today, or number one, I think it is, that they showed today. They had to replace the exhaust because they tore it up so bad. So
Gotcha. All right,
there he is.
There he is. Welcome to the podcast, Riding Fish, man.
Can you guys hear me all right?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah.
We're good? Okay.
Yep. We are good.
What is going on, guys?
Not much, man.
Well, Chris and I are both conflicted tonight. We have Harley hats on and Indian shirts. After that Road Glide RR that came out, CVO RR, we're eyeballing that, thinking we might want one. So
I think that's what you call a piece of art, a work of art.
Yeah, I mean, how many people's going to actually buy that thing and actually ride that thing? I don't know.
131 people will buy it,
Yeah.
and like 7 will probably ride it.
Yeah.
Well, what I was thinking that it's kind of like almost like a cash grab, you know? To me, I mean, like, hey, I know Harley-Davidson, they need, some kind of big news and stuff like that, but it just seems like 113. How much is that thing? $113,000 plus all the expenses to get it out the door. I mean, come on.
The MSRP starts at 110. So when dealers do get this, because it's only going to go to, I think they deemed them as their highest performing dealerships. So not every dealer is going to get one, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be limited to who even gets it. So these guys are going to have dealer premiums they'll put on it, just kind of like the Corvettes were a few years ago.
Yeah.
MSRP on a vet was 99,000. People were paying 30,000 over sticker just to get one.
Mm-hmm.
I think you see some of that on this too.
Yeah, it's a pretty. I mean, okay, so let's just go down to the thing. I mean, the bike has got top of the line. I mean, actually, what is it? The yoke or whatever? What is that? The swing arm. How much do you think that thing weighs?
I have no idea.
It's like 18 pounds. Okay.
Did you know it starts at like 225 pounds and they mill that down?
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy.
Did you hear? Did you how long it takes?
No.
12 and a half hours.
12 and a half hours. Oh my God.
So think about this. There's 131 being made. So that means just to make the swing arm, if they only had one machine, it would take 65 days.
That is nuts.
They're probably farming
their rear swing arm.
They're probably farming out some of those CNC parts to Paul Senior. Didn't he have those machines that cut that stuff?
Oh my gosh!
Well, hopefully they bought a few of them because there's not going to be nothing else happening. It's crazy, and it's interesting. A bunch of my friends and I in the Indian. I'm sorry, I'm kind of glancing at all the notes.
Yeah.
Because obviously this wasn't planned, and I'm supposed to go to sleep in like an hour and a half. So
I
gotta work at 4 a.m. in a blizzard.
Oh man! So.
But
I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. You know what? It's fun to talk about things like this. I mean, obviously, I paid attention last week when you guys talked about the Indian motorcycle drops, and now Harley does their thing. You know what is the greatest thing about this is that you would assume Indian has to do something, right?
Oh yeah.
Now, I don't know. Are you guys aware that Indian made race ready challengers a few years ago? Did you guys see it? Did you know that?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually saw them.
Yeah, they made it's $90,000.
Wow.
And and they only made 29 of them, so they went with Tyler O'Hara's number. But it was interesting. I was at a race in Wisconsin, and one of the Indian teams, his suspension, something happened to his front suspension. And so they made a couple calls to corporate, and it was one of the quote unquote privateer teams. And so they made a couple calls to corporate, and corporate okayed them to go to the demo truck, pull the race bike off the demo truck, the one that was for sale. They took it to their thing and they pulled the front suspension off, threw it on their bagger, and they went and raced at Road America with it. And I asked Kyle Unswick, it was when it was a Roland Sands bike, but I asked Kyle about it and I said, well, was it good? And he goes, I'll be honest with you, it was better than the one I had stock. Or not stock, but previous. Obviously, they're not stock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that they came out with this. What I love about it is the one that Indian made wasn't road certified, or you couldn't take it on the road. Where this Harley-Davidson is. I think that's pretty freaking cool that they did that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I kind of geeked out over it just because I do feel like it's a work of art. So for 131 cubic inch off the line, also, what is it, 150 or whatever, right? And you figure
150 horsepower. Yep.
So you probably lose, is it fair to say 10% maybe in drivetrain? So you're somewhere in that 135 feet-pounds of torque and horsepower, which by the way is what my bike is.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows. Spicy's 135. So I think, I know it's fast. I know that. But one more thing is, imagine when somebody tunes this or they get a real exhaust thrown on here. I'm sure that's a great exhaust when you're fighting
Mhm.
EPA.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, those are my things. I didn't mean to take over your show, but I have like a
No, man. I know you
We could
research this
talk-
stuff.
yeah, we could talk Indian, we could talk Vegas, we could talk whatever you want. I'm down for any of it, but this
Well,
is
you know-
this is a cool conversation, man. This is
Yeah.
a fun topic today.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
Definitely
what
is.
what I told Chris was, I said, if Harley's really looking for something to sell and something that's going to sell like crazy and like hotcakes, put this into a production model, make the crap out of them, just pop them out like a regular Road Glide. Just make the things, get the price down. People will buy the living crap out of those things. I think they'd sell like nuts, given the kind of horsepower they're making, how it would come out of the box like that. It would be a guy like me's dream. I don't have to go and wrench on it and tune it and cam it and do all the crap I did to my other bikes. This thing, you just hop on it and ride.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm just wondering what, I'm sure they got somebody working in Harley, they knew this bike was coming out. I mean, what does Indian have that's ready to get? I mean, it's probably going to take them about 2-3 months, but I would say they might actually just reinvent the Elite, the something. One thing I don't want to see happen, and this is what's going to happen. The motorcycles are already, I mean, you talk about people all the time that these damn things are too expensive. All right. And they're already outpriced most people that want to own them. The Road Glide, if you want a good Road Glide, you want the ST or something like that, but nobody can buy them. They're sitting them on the lots. There's like 3 or 4 of them at this one down here, down the road. I mean, nobody can afford $57,000 on a freaking bike. So you're looking at a $100,000 bike. Some people's houses that they ride is only $100,000. Okay, mine originally, my first house was $100,000. So you could sleep in that thing. You could watch TV in that thing. You could go to the movie theaters with the motorcycle, but you gotta be careful. Gotta go probably grass movie theaters. That's outdoor one. But it's just strange that these prices. They just think it's almost like. It's just going to make it normalized.
Just for
you know what I'm saying?
collectors. It sounds like it's just for collectors.
Oh, maybe it's for people that want to race.
Mm-hmm.
They want to put pressure on Indian. I mean, Indian has won the last 3 of the King of the Baggers, or the last 2, or something like that, or
No, every other year they win.
every other one. So
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
No, you're right. The price is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so 101,000. So you're getting their limited run. You're getting all that billet. And Les, you were saying, you wanted it to be. So if they started rolling out, I could see them rolling out a 131 on a lesser model that's not $100,000. Maybe that becomes the $50,000 brand. Because what is it? The CVO Red Glide ST. The one paint job was like a $5,000 increase, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a big deal. I know Victory. I think I talked about this in the comments last time you guys were talking about it. Victory one time, and I believe this is true, and I may be mistaken, but I don't think so. They actually rolled out bikes ready to paint. People always talk about like, oh, that paint job's expensive, blah blah blah, or that's a ripoff or whatever. I'm like, well, yeah, give them a ready to paint bike and see how much it really costs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that some of these guys are getting, you're getting an upgrade of $900. You're like, dude, trust me, it's worth $900. My Scout is getting painted right now by BC Customs, and him and I were talking about what the cost, would be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, how about that $1,300 upcharge? To get quality work, you're not going to get cheap stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that you're right. Throwing a 131. The other thing is this gives a big push for them to sell more 135s.
Mm-hmm.
They were quick to mention that right away. When this came out, I think even they were like, well, it's not the biggest motor we have because we have the 135, but this is a 131. Blah blah blah. But yeah, the EPA stuff is what really trips me out, that they were able to pull this off.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we're waiting for that Thunderstroke. You know what I mean? Like, where's that 122 Thunderstroke we've been teased for the last couple years? Where's that bad boy? I was like, come on, guys.
Yep.
why can't we squeeze more out of that 1250 Scout? Like we're ready, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know what Indian has up their sleeve, except for the fact that they're going to go out and win a bunch of races in King of the Baggers, I think, this year. So, yeah, I don't know. Do you guys watch a lot of it? You do, right?
Yeah, I like it. We're actually going to go to our first race this year. As a matter of fact, I get to take the tickets. It's Mid Ohio. That's where we're going to go, and then I think it's going to be a great weekend. It's a 3-day weekend that we're going to go up there. I think most of the IMRG that's in our club, 2074, is going to go up there. And I think 2017, I think it's Columbus. It's going to be up there. I'm sure Cleveland. 2019. Columbus is going to be up there, which I think that is 2017. But I think we're all going to go up there to that race because it's the closest one to us. But I've never seen one live. I mean, but I've watched it on YouTube and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's very nice. I mean, it's cool. I think it's cool as hell. Watch them.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm hoping to make it to Mid Ohio. Actually, that's one of the ones I'm going to try to make it to because I can't remember how far it is from my house, but it's not close, but it's not the end of the world either. You know what I mean? Oh, let's see. What is it called? Mid Ohio Raceway, or what is it called?
What is that one called? Les?
Yeah,
I think it's Mid Ohio.
It's Mid Ohio.
Yeah.
Now you've got writing fish under your picture.
Oh no, I'm copying and pasting it and changing it. Yep. Good. I'm changing the names.
Editing on the fly, my man. Editing on the fly.
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best to get people's names so everybody knows who's who here. So, but yeah.
IMRG in Columbus is 2019.
2019. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I was close. I was right.
I am 853 miles away. If I don't go through Chicago,
that's a day ride, man.
That's a day ride. Except my kid might come, so we'll make that move. But yeah, I mean, if it's just me, yeah, that's a day ride because Iowa's easy. Except they got a bunch of. If you ever go through Iowa, know that they put speed cameras in some of their cities.
Yep.
Was it Champaign or whatever, Illinois? Then Indianapolis, yeah, Springfield, Ohio, and then up. Okay, Columbus, yeah. Where are you guys out of again?
Cincinnati,
Ohio, Cleveland. Yep. Where's that at? Tell me. Oh, way down here.
Yeah,
I got it.
Tri-State.
Okay. Oh yeah, so maybe I would, if I planned it out right, I could meet you guys somewhere.
Yeah,
and do that last little ride. That'd be cool.
Yep, that'd be awesome.
Now, when is the King of the Baggers at Mid Ohio? Is that in August?
Yeah, it's August. I requested that day off, so yeah, we should be good to go. But yeah, I think it's August.
It is. I got it right here. Mid Ohio is, August 15th to the 17th. Okay. Oh, well, that actually throws a wrench in it. That's right after.
Yeah, you might be doing something else then.
Going back to work probably. We'll see. Maybe I'll fly in or something. We'll see. I won't ride. If I could cut a day or two off and I just fly in, sometimes that's easier, you know.
Well, you got to think about the June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Mm-hmm. We may be heading south. Chris and I have been talking about that, doing a little trip.
Yeah, going around Tail of the Dragon and stuff like that. So, sit you're open there. It's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So
June 1st. And May 31st and May 30th, those are Road America. So that's Wisconsin's King of the Baggers. So I'll definitely be at that one.
Okay, gotcha.
So it might be kind of hard for me to. I mean, you never know, but
yeah, we got you.
Yeah, it's cool to be able to. We're at that time of year where it's actually we can talk about our trips, and they actually are getting close enough to where we actually have to check calendars.
Yeah. I mean,
November, December, you get to just dream about it, and it's not really double checking, you know.
Les, where's your calendar at, man?
Oh man, it's on the kitchen table.
You should have brought it.
It's the size of the kitchen table.
It's the size of the kitchen table. He's got so many things there. Every ride, every world. I said he keeps on going. He said, "I'm gonna go to one of these hog rides." I said, "You ain't welcome there, buddy."
I don't care. I'll show up anyway. What are you gonna do? Kick me out?
But
here, funny story. Mm-hmm. I think it's funny. So when I was out in Vegas test riding the new PowerPlus Chieftain, this guy rolls up to me. Now, Indian was very strict with me. They said, hey, you have to be back at 6:00. You cannot be late. But I got to do whatever I wanted with the bike. I mean, obviously in reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm like, all right, cool, that works. So I'm at the gas station. They're kind of filling me up. I'm, whatever. And this guy comes up to me and he goes, hey, he's like, are you guys going to that Harley hangout tonight? And I'm like, where's it at? And he goes, it's a Harley, blah, 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 here in Vegas. And I'm like, yes, of course I'm going to go. And so I was like, well, what time is it at? And he goes, 6:15. And I'm like, wah, wah, wah. But yeah, so I totally, if he would have said like 5:00, I'd have showed up on the new PowerPlus, and I would have flexed, and I would have taken somebody with an ST and ran them or something,
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Well, it's
That's
it's
awesome.
So my assistant has brought me the calendar.
Oh yeah, you got that good one.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It's like 2 foot by 3 foot or some crazy thing. It fills up the whole damn desk. But no, to your point, we've been filling it up with all the rides. Now, Chris, I did find out, man, that the Harley dealer up in Cincinnati, they
Mhm.
have their own rides. They sponsor their own rides, and it's not the Hog Group that's doing
Okay.
them. So anything that's a dealership sponsored ride, you're welcome to show up at.
Yeah,
So,
but you got to get in line, first. They ain't going to let you do that because they're going to be trying to sell you a bike.
I
Come
don't
here,
care.
I want to talk to you for a second. Let's get you on Harley. Just kidding. We got some good dealerships though. I mean, I like Queen City. They have tons of rides, like you said, and as long as they're not hog rides, I mean, I'll join it too. So I mean, no big deal. I just always heard that hog rides you couldn't join unless you had a Harley-Davidson, but if they got their own sponsored rides, then that's even better. So I've never looked into them that much.
Maybe I get some magnetic badges or something that say Harley and stick them on the tank while I'm there. They won't notice.
But either
every
way,
time
yeah, go ahead.
every time you park, just pour a little oil. Just
So
identifies as a Harley.
yeah, well, folks, we'll talk about what we had a couple topics tonight, but we got a special guest, so we're going to push that back a little bit. Let's talk about a little bit about Vegas, man. So what kind of experience was that, man? It was like, it's got to be one of the top in your life so far, right?
All right. So which Vegas trip? The PowerPlus or the auction?
Well, the auction first. Let's go with that one. How's that?
Okay. So real quick, by the way, Indian Motorcycle's running it back. So they're doing, I don't know if you know, you guys are both members of the IMRG.
Mm-hmm.
They have announced that they are going to do a charity ride day where individuals can raise money. Whoever raises the most money gets a free motorcycle. So they're doing it again. And It's live. It's live. So it's something that might interest you. Ask your friends. You guys can raise money. And the charity is Folds of Honor again. I am not participating this year. I'm not doing it. But I am doing other fun things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you guys remember, but I won the bike through that same program that they're offering now.
Mm-hmm.
But with the context that I was going to take it to Las Vegas and auction it off and then give the proceeds to Folds of Honor, Minnesota, my home chapter, essentially. But yeah, so I won it. We went to Vegas. We had 50 people from 8 states show up, including like the painter that painted it from Hollister, the owner of Hollister showed up, a bunch of companies showed up, like TNA Carbon Fiber, BC Cut, like a bunch of those guys, Ride Culture, all the guys that I've been working with for so long. And it's real, a funny thing is I had to get the bike to Vegas, right? So I call my buddy Kevin. I'm like, hey, what's up, Kev? I'm like, hey man, can I borrow your trailer to take it to Vegas? Because I'm trying to do everything as low cost as possible, right? Because it's more money for the charity. So he's like, yeah, just borrow my trailer. And he goes, and then you could bring my bike back in it. And we just laughed, whatever. And fast forward the day of, I was a little nervous because there was some beautiful bikes. They had reserves. They didn't sell and they were pretty low. Like there was one bike, it's a Road Glide with a Pro Charger, LP6. It was very performance baggerish. And the hammer price was $17,000.
Wow.
and it didn't hit reserve, so it didn't sell, right? And maybe if there was no reserve, it would have went higher or whatever. So I was pretty nervous going into it. The last thing I needed, not that it really mattered, but I didn't want this bike to sell for like 17 grand, right? Like we know it's a $6,000, $8,000 audio system alone in the Springfield, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And plus
Yeah.
I don't know how much cams are because he didn't charge me, but cams and labor got to be a couple grand or $1,500 or something,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then we had slip-on exhaust, which is $1,000 probably or somewhere in there, you know. So I'm just like, we've put thousands and thousands, not even counting the paint job. So in my head, I'm like, dude, somebody's gonna buy, and I had no reserve, by the way, 0. The bike was getting sold, and yeah, it was pretty amazing. I'm standing on stage. And they're like, start at 50,000 and then nothing, 40,000 and not nothing, 30,000, nothing,
Stomach turn.
40,000, nothing. And my stomach is just dropping. At some point, I'm like, should I just buy it? Like, can I bid, you know? And 10,000, and then Bing got a 10,000, and then a 20, and a 30, and a 35. And like, there's an internet bidder, and all this stuff is happening. And all of a sudden, it's at 50. And I'm like, holy crap, 50,000. And couldn't believe it. And I'm like kind of looking around, and the 50,000 was the internet bidder behind me, right? So the person on the computer, and they're like, I got one for 50, you know, and I hear them. And then it goes for a second, like 50,000, you know, 50,000, anybody, 50,000, 55,000, hearing 55,000. And all of a sudden I hear in the stands, 55,000. I'm like, holy shit, $55,000. And I look over, and it's my buddy Kevin, and I'm like, what is happening right now? And if you ever go back and look at my video, there's a moment where I'm looking there and I'm just shaking my head no. I'm like, this, like, because I know the dude. He's going to spend all his money, and then I'm never going to see him all summer because he's working overtime the rest of his life, you know? It's all anyway. Yeah, he ends up 55 grand, bought the bike. It was incredible, huge. And it was surreal to be living in that moment right then. And I had a couple people tell me that they tried to put in like $58,000 bids online and they failed. And so it was meant to be. So yeah, my buddy, I borrowed his trailer, and then I brought his back in his own trailer. So it was
wow.
By the way, I haven't seen him since because he's working overtime. So Kevin, if you're watching,
oh yeah, wow, that's crazy. But yeah, that's a beautiful bike, though. I mean, I remember watching it. I mean, some of the videos that you had on the line. I mean, and then you went around it, and you had all the like little plaques. I guess there was somebody made a bunch of plaques too, right?
Yep. We made a bunch of plaques, kind of. That ended up being a gift. Kind of, most of them were sponsors or like people that are big supporters of the group, not the group, but the build or me. You know, like for example, my daughter riding Minnow, we made her plaque up, and so yeah, it was a lot, like 12 of them or 13 of them. Like there was a lot. You know, the community is good. We have a good community. You know, motorcyclists. Most of the community that follow me are Indian motorcyclist riders, obviously, but it doesn't end there. Motorcyclists are normally good people. I believe that.
Yeah,
so
I believe so too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, so since your buddy bought the bike, do you get visitation rights? Do you get to ride it occasionally?
So here, you want to hear the funny thing? So he lives 5 hours away from me. So the trailer and the bike are in my driveway right now. So he hasn't even got the bike or the trailer. So, yeah, so kind of funny. I haven't rode it or anything, but we're getting a blizzard tonight, so there's no riding it, but we're looking at putting it in the Donnie Smith motorcycle show. Hopefully that all works out. We kind of want to like promote it a little bit more and kind of bring more notification to Indian motorcycle, the things that we can do, you know, customizing. People say you can't make an Indian your own. So I'm kind of like trying to prove people wrong on that. It's just not as easy as flipping through a thick catalog book that everybody can flip through, you know?
Yeah.
Dan Toast, the owner of Toast Performance, Toast Performance, he told me one time, is it really custom if you're just picking the same part that anybody else can pick? Right? I thought that was an interesting thought from a bike builder.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's like cut his own seat pan and, you know, whatever, but obviously another level. I'm like, yeah, but it can be custom and not be cut it down too, so
Yeah. I think
yeah.
anything's custom. It's not stock, and you can't buy it from Indian. I
Right.
think that's everything's custom, and you invented a new exhaust too, right? So it's never been on the market, and they're going to put it on the
Yeah,
market possibly. So
they did. So
Mhm.
they ended up doing just slip-on mufflers. And the reason why is they couldn't get the head pipe done in time.
Mhm.
And also in fairness, they weren't sure they would ever see the R&D money back. So they were like, let's just end up doing slip-ons. And I just wanted them on my bike. I didn't really care because they're just huge supporters. They're great people, and so yeah, they designed mufflers. The cool thing about that is now those mufflers, they work for all the all the Chieftains, all the Roadmasters, all the, so they work on all the baggers, not just
Hmm.
Springfield. So before this, they only had full systems, 2-to-1 or a cat delete slip-on muffler kind of situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of fun. They brought a whole thing to market now.
Mhm.
So
Very cool.
yeah, and then Davidson Audio, there now anybody with a Springfield can get audio system, I think that's,
Yeah, we'll have to talk more about Davidson Audio one of these days. I mean, they're based out of Florida, or where are they
yeah,
based out of?
Panama Beach, Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they're like
so they're up.
the number one, audio, custom for Indian, right? I mean, there's
I
nobody
would
else.
say, yeah,
Yeah.
I would definitely say that is the case. There's other guys in the game that do it,
Mhm.
but nobody specializes in Indian motorcycles like Brandon and his team.
Now, on one of your videos, didn't you like go around like some kind of shopping center, with the stereo and come around, and did you do something like that, or
Yeah, with the Springfield.
yeah?
Yeah.
Did you get any complaints about that? Man, it had to be loud, man.
So we turned on the audio system
Mhm.
inside the auction hall.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, we got some quick words about turning it down because they thought it would mic through the audio place and end up on TV. So they're
Mm.
like, "Oh, cannot turn that up." So kind of funny, I was like, "Well, hey, we just tell them it's brought to you by Davidson Audio." I don't know.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
But yeah, and then the Mecum auction was kind of funny. I mean, I hope they don't, if they watch this, I hope they don't take it like too crazy, but they were kind of a pain to work with at the beginning. And it was like things that were told to me at the beginning of all of it. And then in the middle, it was just like none of it was never coming to the next person. Right. So it was like a yes, sir thing, but then the next guy didn't know what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, by the end, I happened to find the right guy, and all of a sudden he was like, all right, no, let's make this right. And it went much better after that. But before that, it was crazy.
That seems like what happens a lot of times these days. It's like half the people know what they're doing. There's always this one person who's probably been there for like 50 years, and you finally get a hold of him, and it's like, hey, I'll take care of this, man. And next thing you know, it's smooth as silk. But it just seems like there's so many people that tell you no when they can do it. No, we
Yeah.
can't do that. Sorry, we can't do that. Nope, can't do that. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did run into that, and I think you're right. I think I just found the right guy. And you want to know what is a bummer about the whole thing?
What's that?
Is that he is the guy that I got as the very first contact to Mecum. It was that guy, and he forwarded me to somebody else after me contacting him. And then after that, like the ball was rolling to try to get it done. And so it finally became full circle. He came back to me to ask me how everything was going. And I'm like, dude, it's not going good. It's a pain in the ass. And he's like, seriously? And then it was fixed almost instantly. It was fixed. And, it wasn't like I was asking for anything special, but there was things that were told to me. They were like, hey, you're going to have a marquee spot, so it's easy to be seen, right? And I'm like, well, that's cool because I'd like to put up a couple signs or easels, and I would like to name the donors and sponsors and stuff. And they're like, yeah, no problem. Well, then it came to it, and they had me just like in, a slot in a line. I could have been at Walmart, and yeah, people are going to walk by it, but they can't offer anything. So, yeah, once you got the right person, the guy that knows the job, it all went better. And I would like to say maybe there's an opportunity that we get to go and play some Mecum auction stuff again is the goal maybe. So and it has nothing to do with the winning of a motorcycle. So hopefully whoever wins it this time, they just keep it or sell it, whatever you want to do. Rip a big burnout on it, have fun, enjoy a free motorcycle. It's not free, by the way. You have to pay income tax, and they 1099 you, and I dealt with all that fun stuff. So, but it's still cool. So I'm excited. Hopefully you guys push your IMRG to do something, and have a charity ride day. I forget what it is. It's kind of late in the year now, but September this time around. But
I know the Midwest or the group that we are always has the Folds of Honor ride, so we'll probably be able to join that, and we can also get sponsors to help us out for our group and see how it goes. But I mean, I'm glad you are not in it, but the problem is it's probably not going to get as much money because you raised almost as much as everybody combined last year, I think.
I don't know. I don't think that's true, but this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to try and do it differently. For example, I'm going to try to go to so if I can make it to Mid Ohio, just an example, I'm hoping to go and have a special IMRG meeting. We can all get together. By the way, just a quick 50-50 drawing, right? I mean, if everybody, I can't remember how many, September 9th, 20th, it sounds like, huh? Thanks. Yep. Everybody got my back. I appreciate all you guys. But if everybody just holds a 50-50 at all the IMRGs, and you do it at each meeting for the summer, and then you do one really big one and ask your dealership to throw in a leather jacket, tell them Fish said to do it, right? Whatever. And raffle it off. And if everybody could just, make $1,000 over the course of the summer for Folds of Honor, besides the fact that that's just a minimal, right? I'm just saying the smallest game. Besides the guy that's going to raise 20 grand and win a bike, if everybody raised 1,000, I mean, we're going to help a lot of families. A lot of people are going to get scholarships. And I think that's what it's all about. I said on stage when I met the guys at Folds of Honor, I said, "You've never dealt with motorcyclists." And they're like, "Nope, this is the first time." And I'm like, "And you are going to see how charitable we are." And that's one thing that blew them away, is like, wow, you're right. And I'm like, you don't understand, because we know every time we ride, it could be our last ride. So we might as well support the people when we can. Right. So, so I'm hoping to do some fun things, obviously, in my area. But like, for example, I know that all the King of the Baggers are trying to do like a big ride in to the King of the Baggers, like corporate is. And so if I could get, to the dealership and make a ride in, that'd be cool. And I think, I could probably convince Indian Motorcycle to, send me a couple of somethings to give away and, raffle off and kind of make it a fun experience. And that's how I personally am going to try to raise causes this year and be interacting and raise money. But I don't want my name doesn't need to be on any list to win a free motorcycle, because the amount of stress that I felt going in it was worth it, but it was real. So yeah, so I'm trying to push the cause. I think it's a great cause, and I really, especially after getting to know the people at Folds of Honor, they asked me if I'd be willing to come to like a presentation this summer at any time where they actually present the scholarship funds to some of the dependents. And I'm like, you guys trying to get me to start crying in front of everybody? I mean, you tell me a sad story about a veteran, and then I'm looking at a kid or a spouse, that has now a disabled father or mother or passed away. Dude, that stuff's tough, So I told him I would do it, but if I could help out by going to Mid Ohio and raise some money for those families and help from afar, I think that's what I would like to do. And I think us Indian riders can do it. I really think we could do bigger this year. $50,000 was the goal last year. I think they really increased that number. I can't remember what it is, to be honest with you. I don't know if anybody knows. It might be like 200,000 or some. It's a big number.
Well, I don't know how it really works. I mean, I know last year we really didn't talk about it. I mean, I'll get with Mark's on here. He's the actual president up there in the Columbus market, IMRG. And I'll get with him and get with Josh down here and see what we can do to, make that happen, because I think it's a good cause. I mean, it's a very good cause actually. So
Yeah, absolutely.
and see what we can do. I mean, I know we can. I mean, it's like if we got big enough on YouTube, we can have say, listen, here's the folds of honor. I know when Adam did his thing, or when some people do the Wounded Warriors, they actually have like a website where you sign up an organization and they do kind of competitions and see who could grow the most and that kind of stuff. I wish they had that so we can actually have our IMRG so we can see how we compare with other ones. As because I do Special Olympics in Indiana. This year I didn't do it because I had to go to a ride. But the last, I think it was almost 3 years, right, Connie? Last 3 years I did like some 5Ks for Special Olympics, and I had to raise so much money in my work. They donated money for the cause and stuff like that. But I can see where my tally is, where people donated all the time. Like if I was to say, hey, listen, here's a barcode or one of them QR codes. Donate what you can, whatever you can. Next thing you know, I got $300, $400, and I that would be great if we had some kind of way of doing that with this event.
Okay.
Maybe in the future.
Hang on. Ready?
Yeah.
Done. I just put the link in our chat. So
Okay.
you can see that. You can do that. You can donate now. You can donate to individuals. You can, join a certain IMRG chapter, and you can. It's a running tally, individual and also IMRGs. I'll be honest with you. I'll probably register. Maybe I'll do like a fake name. What should my fake name be? But just to put another 30, like let's think of like, I don't know. And I think it's like $35 to register. You gotta put your own $35 down. It gets you a t-shirt. But yeah, so just everything you said, I agree with you, and they have already done it. So it's pretty cool. I put it in the,
let me see if I can improve it real quick. Cause I know I got Nightbot on there now, so it doesn't let people do any links, but let me, see what I can do here. Hopefully I don't got the sound going
Our
on.
Indian Adventures has been on here too.
Yeah. Is that friends of yours or?
Indian
right?
Adventures? Yeah, he. I believe he's a regional IMRG guy.
Oh, sweet.
I can't
Okay.
remember from what. Yeah, IMRG's.
He's got something on here. Writing Fish that says IMRGs can create teams.
Oh, okay. That's freaking awesome. So yeah, we need to talk more about this.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll get this thing going.
Yeah, and I think it could be up for everybody. It's a cool thing. They haven't announced what motorcycle is going to be won. They have said it's going to be custom.
Gotcha.
I said, hey, can I get my hands on it?
All right.
But if I get it, I'm doing a burnout again. I'm gonna let everybody know. So maybe I shouldn't get to do it. Let's see here. There is already 12 people that have registered. So, I mean, I think by the end of tonight, I think the three of us should register at least, right? I think you said we all got $35.
Yep.
Hey, so in the chat, guys, what do you think my name should be? Because I'm not going to do like Fred Fisher or Riding Fish. I think we should do something else. Like, I don't know. Running Eagle or something stupid.
Which one of your bikes names? There you go. Let's go. So
Spicy Candy. Let her be it.
Yeah, there you go.
Instead of Riding Fish, Spicy Shrimp. Just kidding.
Hey,
oh my God.
I've been called that before.
I'm kidding.
All right. So, where do you actually send it in the YouTube chat, or where do you send it at?
Yeah, YouTube chat. Yeah, the bot has it.
Okay.
Oh no, the bot hasn't mentioned it yet. Yeah, it's not in there. But I can also like text it to you.
Yeah, just text it to me so I can put it in there. I see if I can let me go to Nightbot and see what it's doing here. So I've never used Nightbot that much. I just put it in there in case when we had the interview for Adam Sanabel, I didn't know how many people were going to be there. So I was like, okay, so what's
Nightbot is being ornery.
Nightbot's being ornery. All right, Riding Fish, here we go.
I sent it to you an email, bro.
Gotcha.
And it's really easy. It's Indian Motorcycle National Charity Ride or something. Oh no, the email is something way different. But yeah, so the goal is 250,000.
Okay.
That feels like a pretty hefty goal, but I believe it could be done. But that's gonna take work, right? I think 50,000 was easy. That one didn't take any work really. But I think that, you know, there's going to be things, or an example.
Yep.
If you guys want to come out this direction, I'm going to try to do a thing where I get 4 or 5 IMRG chapters together in Spirit Lake, and we go do like a factory tour, right? But to be a part of it, even though it's free, it's going to cost a little donation money. That's my idea. You want to go on your own, you go to the free one, then that's fine. But if you want to join the party, you got to donate a couple bucks. That's my thought.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But really, I don't, you know, and listen, I hope one of my friends wins a new bike. That'd be cool. I don't really, you know, I don't really care who wins it. I hope they give it, like, I told Indian that they should hand it to me. Let me do a couple things, you know. That'd be cool.
Yeah. That's another thing, because I was going to ask you, because I know you had a bunch of sponsors on there. Some of them do the where they actually have products at. Like I was trying to look at the BC, I think it was Customs.
BC Customs.
Is it just on their Facebook?
Yeah. So he is So just message him on Facebook.
Okay,
that's
gotcha.
the best way, or I can give you an email address. He doesn't have a store because everything he does is custom.
Custom, gotcha.
So there's and they may not be right. You could just email them, say, hey, I want some shorty black levers with finger grooves. Okay, you know, Riding Fish has that. A bunch of people have that, but because he's always available for that, he just doesn't. It's not like they're on a shelf. He has to go and grind it down and cut it down and do all the cool stuff. So yeah, the best way for a guy like that is to 100% just email them. But yeah, I mean, any of my buddies, let me know. I'll happily get you guys their contact. But yeah, Bob's a good dude. And he is like, it's amazing. We always joke that he has one good eye. I'm like, you got one really good eye, because I can't see none of this stuff with the talent you got.
Oh, well. That's freaking cool. Let's see here. Flipping Zippo's on. Welcome to the podcast. And then, hey, did some custom leathers. He did some custom leathers for me that are insane. So that's from our Indian Adventures. So cool. Yeah. Thank you for watching, by the way. Yeah. So, and then you got, what is the other one? Ride Culture, right?
Yep, Ride Culture. They make bag lights. They do floorboard inserts. They also they don't make inserts for the passenger floorboard, but they make adjustable floorboards that are kind of like pivot up and down and like a little forward and back kind of thing. So that way your passenger can have more options for where their legs are, you know? Yeah, they do. They make good products, really good products. And I always say this, and I'm going to continue to say it with most of the companies I work with, but the only thing better than their products are most of the people. You know, a lot of these companies have been like Ride Culture. I think we hosted 3 bike nights at his shop last summer. You know, I mean, and we provided food, we provided just fun. It's just motorcyclists getting together, you know. I will shout out my boy, Gator Mike from Florida. He came up one time and he sponsored the whole food bill. So not only did he come from Florida to Minnesota for the party, he sponsored that. So yeah, Gator Mike, just got to throw that out there right now. Wow. But yeah, we've done some cool things at Ride Culture. And we're continuing, our plan is to continue to do more cool things, you know, hopefully.
Yeah. It looks like you got a good group, man. Good group. Hey, if you're just watching, please, I got to do a shout out here. Please like, subscribe, and share this podcast. We are off a little bit of topic, but we got a special guest tonight, Riding Fish. He jumped on. He's got to go to work at 4:00 in the morning. You tell us when you want to stop. Okay. Do you want to stop right now? Just stop, you know, but I know you got a bunch of, you have another Las Vegas trip you can talk about too.
Yeah. Did any of you guys get a chance to ride? Hang on. I kind of messed up some stuff. Can you guys see me okay?
Yep.
What is happening? What do I got you? I think I have.
Let me see that chat too, because I'm going to go on that. But I'm going to do that right after this podcast. So I'm going to put that chat message back in there again. So let me do that real quick. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out how far Wisconsin is from Cincinnati. It doesn't look too damn far.
Well, if I'm
It's a
only
day.
800 miles, come on now, you can make it.
Yeah, we can make it. We can figure out something. My wife.
I've ridden there before, Chris. It's a day ride. Trust me.
It's a day ride. We can do it.
Yes.
So I can take a weekend off and let's do it. Let's do
Yep.
it.
Bye, bye, bye.
You know what's up in Michigan? We can go there too.
Upper Peninsula.
No, that little island you want to go, the Mackinac Bridge.
Mackinac?
Yeah, that's where you want to go. So we can make something happen.
You don't want to go to Wisconsin via Michigan, right?
Probably
You
not.
got to take the ferry across, I think.
Yeah.
It's like
That
a
might be
4
the-
or 5 hour ferry ride, if I remember.
Oh, ain't there Upper Peninsula? You can go across the bridge and then go over that way. Just kidding. It's a long trip. That'd be more on a weekend. Yeah, we'll go straight to Wisconsin and get some cheese curds and stuff like that. That'd be good.
Okay, now you're talking.
There you go. I knew
Cheese.
I knew something would work. All right, so let me find the chat one more time. Where's my comments at? This is what drives me nuts because I got all these screens up now. But
You want your mouse back?
hey, we are still looking for somebody to help us out. Hey, Alex, welcome to the what did I miss, Fish? It's what he's asking right now, Alex Atkinson. So it might be a friend of yours.
Everything. Let us start over. We'll start over from the beginning.
Yeah, we'll start over just for you, buddy. But we talked about the new Harley-Davidson, and then we're also talking about the good old auction that he had that helped out a lot of families. And then let's see, let me get this copy and paste this thing in here again and take care of it.
Did you guys either one of you guys get to ride the PowerPlus Chieftains or Roadmaster?
No, we have not. We
Is
got
the
to see
weather
one.
bad?
What's that?
I know. Is the weather bad?
Our dealership was in negotiations with the Indian, and they actually got them late. And the only one they got so far is actually the what was that one?
The one I like.
They have they have a Roadmaster with the PowerPlus, but
Yeah.
nobody's taking it out because there's salt on the road still, and
Yeah.
they haven't let anybody out with it.
Yep. So, but I would love to. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ride it. Yeah, but we will eventually. But you had some power on that sucker, right?
Dude, it was pretty fun. It's like the box of like the power area is more everywhere, right? Where the PowerPlus likes to be rang out a little bit. It's a little bit better. Oh, yeah. Alex. Oh, I see. He was like, what did I miss, Fish? Yeah, I see. Now he's texting me. So Alex from Arc Tuning, let me tell you a little about this dude. This is a motorcyclist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's 100% motorcycles. We became good friends. He's the guy that owns a dyno and he tunes Harleys, most like 99% Harleys. And we've had so much fun. And you want to talk about like, see my ears, like smoke coming out of my ears. Watch me after I leave a dyno session with this dude. And, and he's explaining how things work. Pretty fun. But anyway, I'm glad you're here, bro. And yeah, it sucks that you haven't got to ride the PowerPlus yet, the 112. Here's the thing. And I asked some engineers, they're the exact same cams that's in a 108.
Okay.
So like my bike has Indian's stage 2 cams, right? Also, those are EPA exhausts. Now, I don't know why they haven't came out with a tune yet, that's what I think they're going to do. When they come out, they're at whatever they're at, 120. I can't remember the numbers, 126, 133 or something. What does anybody know them off the top of your head?
I don't.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's something like that, right? I think it's fair to say. But imagine a new tune and bigger cams, even EPA, right? So even Indian stuff, you're going to get another 10%. You're going to get even more. I don't know. Alex, what do you think? What do you think just a tune could do? He'll probably look at my graph and be like, this is exactly what happened to yours. But, but yeah, it was, and actually I could look at my own thing quick. I got 1,000 tabs open right now, so I can be factual to you guys, just so you know.
Oh, you're fine. It's great. So this guy has the, Dyno,
tuning
huh?
company. Yep, and a dyno and a tuning company and all the good stuff.
Now, have they
So-
100% been able to break the 23s and 24s yet? Or
Yep, yep. I know people that have gotten tunes for them. You know, those are obviously aftermarket tunes,
Mhm.
and I've been asked to remind people that if you get aftermarket tunes, you can mess up your warranties and yada yada yada. Whatever. Anyway, I said it, but yeah, they do it.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Man, we must have had a lot of people on. It took forever for this charity ride thing to come up, but yeah, I got it here, and I'm hopefully I'll be one of the donators here. There's $1,200 already on there. So
Yeah. All right. So here, check this out. So my bike, bone 100% stock, was, and this is on Alex's dyno, 105. This is a 108, 105 horsepower and 116 feet-pounds of torque. Then I did add a tune and also an exhaust, right? And I gained, what is that? 9 horsepower and 6 torque, right? And that's on a 108. So
Okay.
even if you gained just those numbers alone, because who was it? Because it's already been done, right? Lloyd's Garage put it on a 112 on a dyno, right?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. And I can't remember his numbers. Let's see here. Did I tell you guys I'm clicking away like
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah. So yeah.
So his numbers were 112 horsepower and 125 feet-pounds of torque. So that means if you just added, what did I say, 9 horsepower, you're looking at 121 horsepower to the wheel. And then I can't remember what I said, it was 6. You're looking at 130 torque at the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just, and by the way, that's not cams. That's just a tune and an exhaust.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't be crazy. By the way, my bike is a 112 with cams, exhaust, and a tune, and I'm at 130, 135, which, by the way, is really close to what we're all estimating that new 131 race bike is.
Yeah. Harley-Davidson. Yeah. Wow.
So yeah. Now, granted, that Harley-Davidson with an aftermarket tune and a good pipe. Hey, Alec, what do you think that's going to be?
Now, could you see them ever doing like the Challenger Elite and just do a 2-stage, everything, the exhaust, cams, 112. I mean, already have an Indian tune. I mean, kind of middle run of this big 131 Harley. They kind of released, and then wipe his ass on the racetrack.
I think that's almost what they're going to have to do.
Yeah.
And obviously I don't know anything, but every time Indian does something, Harley does something. Shortly while later, Indian does something again. But yeah, assuming that can pass, they can get it to pass EPA, which I know they can. You pass EPA, yeah, you can roll it off the assembly line. Now, granted, is there, and this I don't know, right? But I don't know, like, is there fees they have to pay or money or costs, to maybe VIN code? I don't know how that stuff works. If there's anything different when you start changing stuff like that. Easy when you're selling $100,000 bikes, but if you're only going to sell 100 elites, is it worth it then adding VIN codes for cams and all this other stuff? I don't know how any of that works, but it's just my thought.
Well, I heard they fixed a lot of things also on this bike, and I think you confirmed them too. The throttle is a lot smoother, no more delay. It's instant almost.
Yeah. So did anybody ride a 2020? Anybody rode a 2020?
No.
Bone stock?
No.
Okay. Well,
Nope.
a lot of people that rode 2020s, they really learned what throttle lag was, and it's gotten better over the years. And so I rode my buddy's 24. I rode Kevin's 24 Elite when he got it, and I instantly told him, like, "Holy crap, dude!" I'm like, "This is impressive." Not power, fit and finish, refinement. That's what I'm referring to as impressive. And I got to say, I think they improved from that.
Yeah.
I really think even like I have cams and stuff, but like PowerPlus can be a little clickety clack. You can kind of hear a little tinging
Yeah.
from
Ding,
the
ding, ding,
motor.
ding. Yeah.
Yeah. And I felt like that was less,
hmm
and there's not an exhaust to cover up the noise either.
That's when we started it up. I actually have a video on what released. We started up that Roadmaster, and that's the first thing I said. Hey, that noise, ting, 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 was gone, almost gone. I mean, it was still there. It was still there,
Yeah.
but it wasn't prominent like it used to be. And I have a 23, and I mean, it drives me crazy sometimes listening to that damn thing. But yeah, it's like, man, is this thing low on oil? It's like, what's going on with this thing? But yeah, I mean, that's one thing that that Indian, that PowerPlus, I mean, had. But when they we were actually in the showroom, and it's enclosed, it's vibrations or sound vibrations and that kind of stuff. I could not hear that. So
Yeah.
so I would say they
I
definitely
thought
improved that.
Yeah, I think they did a good job. Yeah, let's see. Alec just posted something. It's just going on topic. He says, I don't know if you want to share it, but he goes,
Yeah, I'll share
just
it.
increasing displacement will increase numbers eventually across the board, but moves the peak slightly lower in the RPM because they can't ring it out as much, maybe.
Yeah.
So, well, there's no replace. What is it? There's no replacement for displacement. What is it called? What is the saying? Somebody's help me with this.
I wish I could tell you. I just started riding.
Oh God, dude, no. You're on year 3 now, my man.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, what the heck?
Hey, I've learned more from you than I have myself. I like watching your videos, and I mean, it's somebody's on here and they don't know who Riding Fish is. Go to his channel, you'll know who he is. He's crazy, but he's got some great content.
So it's no replay. There's no replacement for displacement, something like that.
Gotcha.
Except for overhead cams on a PowerPlus, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate the shout out and the nice words and stuff. But I just love talking motorcycles with my friends, and like even, and that's just a true thing. Chris, I mean, how we text often.
Yeah.
And even like there's not a show, nothing happened. We text just like, hey, what's up? Little banter back and forth and whatever. And it's cool, and sometimes I'm driving and I turn your podcast on like a podcast. I'm just driving, listening to it, and something happens. I'm at a stoplight. I'm like comment section real quick.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, it is I mean, it's hard work, but we try to have fun, and that's one thing about motorcycles, man. It brings people together, like you said. We just happen to have a podcast, and I probably would never met you before if I didn't have a podcast. But I had, some friends like Max and stuff like that, and they knew you, and he texts you all the time, and he doesn't have a podcast, so you're very friendly. I mean, that's what's so awesome about you. I mean, there's so many people that, I mean, I've actually, reached out to some people and they're like, but most of the time motorcycle people are like, hey, yeah, what date you want me on,
Let's chat.
Yeah. Let's chat. Yeah. Let's see what we can do. Hey, I'm doing something in March. Hey, at the end of March, hey, reach out to me. So that's what's so great about and I know in the summertime it's going to be a lot harder. So we'll just do some late night podcasts. I'll be moving the time back by about 9:00 at night or 10 because daylight, man. I'm telling you, riding is more important than the podcast.
Just watch out for deer.
You just gotta watch out for deer. Yeah. Well, I mean, in our neck of the woods, it is literally still daylight till 9:30 in the summertime, and I plan on leaving your house around 9:00 less after a nice ride, and then and I still get home before it's dusk, I think.
All right.
And then when we'll plan the weekend, I'll let you know what weekend it is, riding fish, and we'll ride up to Wisconsin,
Okay.
and hang out for a day or something, and see what happens, and then we can ride some rides up there. I'm sure there's some nice rides up there.
So how
snow?
He's getting snow tonight. He's getting a blizzard.
Ugh.
So how long is your guys' first week of June trip? How long is that going to be?
I'm actually on vacation the week after, so I can do anything after that. Now Les, he can't take vacation after July, and he's already got his pretty much booked up, but he's free on weekends. So
Yeah, but
Yeah.
my thought is if you guys are planning on going to Tell of the Dragon the first week of June, if you guys came to Wisconsin that weekend, right? So like, what would that be? Like May 30th first or May 30th, you know?
Mhm.
By the way, I looked it up, dude. It's like not even 500 miles. So
yeah.
come on, you guys both have baggers. I'm not trying to hear no excuses. So, so like say you guys came up Friday night and then the 31st is a Saturday. By the way, I love planning everybody else's stuff. Ask Kevin. And then you guys hung out till the 1st of June to the races. You guys could still go down to Tennessee after that. And if you have that whole week, like the 2nd to the 6th or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, I could change my plans. I can see what I can do. Yeah.
Do you have to work the weekend before?
The weekend before, I don't know. I'll have to look. I work in retail. Les has weekends off. I had to work in retail, so I'll have to, like, hey, can I get this weekend off? So I can see what I can do.
Yeah. But I'm just but you do have the full week or no of June, that June 2nd to June 6th?
No, I don't have the full week. No.
Yeah, I do not. I have the 2nd and the 3rd, which I think is a Monday and a Tuesday.
Oh, so you were just literally going to run down there for like
just for the
5
weekend
seconds or whatever.
Yeah, but if Chris could get the weekend before off, so the 30 or 31st, whatever that is, we might be able to make some kind of run up there or do something like that.
Yeah, let me look at it and see right now. I'm gonna look. We can talk after the podcast too, or actually I can talk. I'll look more about it and let's see what we can do. Because right now the 1st and 2nd, so we're talking about May, right? May 31st.
Last weekend of May into the first week of June.
Okay.
But here's the thing: if you only got those 4 days, dude, Chicago takes a month off your life going through Chicago. So,
I've actually done that. I've done that a time or 2 or 10.
I'm sure there's a way to get around it, right?
Oh yeah, there is. There is.
Yeah. Well, we'll get around that sucker. So let me see.
But yeah, like going down to Tell the Dragon for you guys only like 300 miles. If you guys,
it's not bad. Yeah. I've actually jumped on at 5 in the morning, rode to the Tell the Dragon, did the Skyway, all the stuff down there. Did a late lunch, and then around 5, 6 in the evening, turn around, head home. So I rode down and back in a day.
Yeah.
What the heck? I feel like that's cheating or something. I'm jelly. Dang. But I probably feel like that was Sturgis, I leave in the morning and I'm having dinner in Sturgis. So so
you're about 500 miles from Sturgis, give or take.
I think I'm like 600 and change. But once you get in South Dakota, you do 100 miles an hour usually. I mean, if I was in Mexico, but something like that.
Do you do Sturgis every year?
I do them on most years and I never plan it. So it's because it is an afternoon ride, it doesn't take a lot to twist my arm to get me to go. So,
well, I know we're going next year. We ain't going this year because this year is the 90th anniversary or something like that. I mean, it's going to be really popular. So, we just, because we had a lot of things booked already. We know next year we're going to go ahead and plan it. We're going to get Airbnb, hang out there, and that kind of stuff. So I think we got like 6 people already confirmed that's going to be out there. But we might see you out there then, because I've never been there. Les has been there 3 or 4 times. Twice. Okay, sorry. It must have been Max has been out there 3 or 4 times. But I'm sure that's a nice event. One of these days I'll go to Daytona too. I've never been to Daytona, but like I said, I've only been riding for 3 years, so I'm just now getting my riding boots on, and then
you just need a job where you don't work weekends.
Yeah, I can get a job so I don't have to work weekends anymore. That's what I need.
That's a real struggle. That is a real struggle, and you're trying to do these things. So I have a buddy. His name is Gabe. He used to be on my channel all the time. Big Gabe, all the time. Harley guy, never get off. He won't even sit on an Indian because he's scared he'll like it. I freaking love the dude. He was my ride or die. We worked at the same job. We did everything cool. We're always together, always. And he changed jobs, and now he only works weekends. And this dude never rides.
Oh man.
And it's such a bummer. And he has a hopped up, 2022 Road Glide 131. It's so funny. Funny story. Here we go. Maybe I don't think I told you this on the podcast last time. Mm-hmm. So he has a 131 now, but at first he had the 114, right? And the moment he bought it, he got high horsepower cams instantly. So he rolled off the dealership floor with cams and all this and that. And we ride that year and everything's good. And I'm on the Challenger and whatever. And then the next spring, it was like late March or whatever. And I call him like, Gabe, let's go riding. He's like, oh, I can't go riding. I'm like, why can't you go riding? Like, I know your schedule, bro. You're off today. Quit playing with me. Like, let's go. And he's like, no. I don't have my bike. I'm like, where's your bike? Like I know his garage situation. Like I know his bike should be in his garage, covered up. Like I know the rule of his house. And I'm like, where's your bike? He's like, oh, it's at Harley. I'm like, what's it doing at Harley? He's like, I wasn't going to tell you, but I got sick and tired of you leaving me on every on-ramp. So I got the 131. So,
oh, man.
Kind of funny. Well, the Harley dealership made some money for me. So
I would say that's quite the investment to go up to the 131.
And now
listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's a big dude. He's 300 pounds, and every 7 pounds is 1 horsepower. So he had a little bit making up to do. And yeah, he just got tired of getting ran away from. And, especially since I was always like, well, if you're on an Indian, that wouldn't be happening, so.
Yeah. I think back in the day when I had the Street Glide, I was looking at was it the T120? I think they had the 120 back then. And I think, but that was pushing 5 digits to get that thing swapped out. So I can't imagine what a 131 is now.
I don't think they're 10 grand, are they? I bet they're not.
They're expensive. I know that.
I don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat will tell us.
It's in the parts catalog. What's it in there, Fish? Just to buy it.
You're having to go to a Harley dealership. Come on, man. I'm just kidding.
I think you're starting to push 5 digits by the time you have it installed. If you have the dealer do it and do the work, I think it's getting up there.
Probably unless you just go buy the $114,000 RR. Yeah, he said after install you are over $10,000. Yep, that's what Alex is.
Well, he would know. If anybody would know, it'd be that man right there. He would know.
Yeah, I remember looking at the 120 back in the day, and it was approaching 5 digits back then, and that's been a few years ago. So 131 now, I bet it is.
Yeah, I know the twin cams are more expensive than the Milwaukee 8s, is what everybody says, at least, but they love to like separate things out really funky, like you can't. I don't know. By the way, just because I'm looking at it right here. So the new Road Glide CVO RR, it has the racing transmission in it. Do you know how much that is?
No.
It's $3,500 for that transmission.
Wow.
It also has the racing forks too, right?
Yes.
The actual original ones from the King of the Baggers.
It does.
Yes, the actual forks used in the race series. They were talking about that today on the press release.
Yeah, $3,000 for some inverted forks like that.
Wow, that's nuts.
So the 135 crate motor is $8,000, and that comes kaput. So all you got to do is pull the other one out and put it in, and I'm sure it's going to cost you $2,000. So yeah, that you might be onto something. By the way, to install the $3,000 forks, you need the correct neck.
How much is that?
Jesus.
Another $1,200.
Oh wow.
That would be. Yeah, so you the neck, and then I think that comes with some Brembo calipers. Wow.
I was actually reading some forums about an Indian Challenger today, and the guy says, "Oh, I traded my Indian Challenger in for a Harley, because aftermarket parts and stuff like that." He said the only ones you can buy is the Indian ones, and when you buy one, you got to buy another part to get the damn thing on. And it's Harley's the same way. I mean, exactly. And then another guy says, "Hey, have you ever heard of Forever Rad?" He makes a ton of freaking aftermarket parts for Indian. So
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good go-to. Kyle works with a lot of different companies that make stuff, and he uses some good quality stuff in his builds. But yeah, it's I'm just looking right now. I don't go on their parts list very often, so with the fact that I'm looking at this right now, I'm just like I'm just dying. So my big bore kit is like $6,000, aftermarket, not Indian motorcycle. And that's install is included, by the way. The only thing not included in that was the tune the exhaust wasn't and the cams weren't. So you figure another $2,000. So $8,000, but that's installed. So I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty fair amount, especially since something like an exhaust, you can get an exhaust now and then get the big bore kit later, and it's not like you're dropping $8,000 right in the moment,
Well, all this does is makes competition even better, because Indian has to look at it and say, "Uh-oh, we got to go back to the drawing board," or they already had a spy in there and they already have something ready and they're just waiting to release it right when it's time. I mean, I kind of like it that they actually did it like a couple of days before, because a lot of people rumors was going to be what's their water cooled engine, the
Rev Max.
Yeah, Resolution, whatever it's called, was going to be on that platform. Everybody thought it was going to be a water cooled because they're getting ready to race, and next thing you know, it's going to be done. And then a lot of people said, well, if they do that, I mean, it probably is going to help them, right? But if they said that they just brought out another Road Glide and they just put a bunch of accessories on it, that it's going to doom them, because a lot of people that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for technology advancements. They want that water cooled engine in that frame, and they just don't know why they haven't done it yet. And I think Harley looks at it and says, we have all these people that love our bikes but hate that damn engine, but they got to figure out how I like what Indian is doing. You can buy either one. You can either have the Power Max or you can have the regular one, the Thunderstroke. And I think that's the right way of doing it. And then when the Thunderstroke sales goes down to where they can't maintain a profit margin, it's time to say goodbye. I mean, I think Indian's doing the right thing on that part. And maybe Harley needs to take a lesson of what Indian's doing again, because they've learned so much from them already over the years. All the technology stuff.
I think the issue the Harley has, we may have touched on this before. They're so tied to their heritage. The old diehard Harley guys, when you start talking about liquid cooled, even when what they call the twin cooled, or just the liquid cooled heads, people kind of tossed a fit about that. Now maybe it's more widely accepted now, but the thing that Indian doesn't have, they're kind of a clean slate. They can do whatever they want. It doesn't seem like it makes anybody mad. You start varying from the old V twin air cooled Harley much. The V Rod's an example. There were all kinds of backlash against that. A lot of people loved it. It was new. It was great. It was a good motor, liquid cooled. But then the old diehard Harley guys just dissed it.
Yeah.
So tied to the heritage a little bit.
I'll tell you what I think, and this is true, and Alex is in the comment messaging stuff too, but this is the problem. Everybody hears that 150 horsepower that the Pan American motor Revolution Max is putting out. They all forget it only has 90 feet-pounds of torque or whatever, something like that. Every Harley rider feels torque. So imagine taking the Scout motor as just an example, the Scout motor that's not torquey, and you add 300 pounds to it. It's not going to feel fun or fast.
Yeah.
So just taking that 1250 motor with 90 feet-pounds of torque, it is not going to move you in your seat like you want it to. They need to actually make a bigger cubic inch motor. The 1250 is just too small. It doesn't put enough torque out, and that is really what it is. And that's one reason why Harley-Davidson, it's very rare they talk about their horsepower numbers, but they often refer to their torque numbers, because that's what people feel. So that's the problem. And everybody likes to look at that 150, and we all flex on 100 and this and that and this, but you feel whatever your torque number is, 93, 96, whatever it is, isn't enough. That's the truth.
Gotcha.
So they had to come out with a whole new motor. They're there. I mean, the V-Rod motor is amazing. The Revolution Max, it's there. It just needs to be bigger, and it's just not torquey enough for the Harley-Davidson riders. It's just 100% not. So that's the problem with that. But you're right. It needs to be done. And dude, have you seen on the race bikes, the size of the radiator and the fairing? Like, dude, you're cooling your freaking, like, don't act like this isn't freaking a cooled motor right now. It freaking takes up the whole inner fairing of the freaking race bikes. It's pretty fun.
I'm sure they got that engine somewhere in a closet somewhere. They keep twinking with it or something like that. But I mean, that's what a lot of people are looking at. This is looking for better technology. I mean, but I totally agree with you too. Also, so. But I just think Indian did the right approach. They gave people a choice. And that costs Indian money too. I mean, selling two of the same bike with just different engines, that has to cost them some money.
I do think it's more than the different engines. It's completely different front suspension, different braking in the front. I don't think you get electronic preload on any of the Chieftain or Roadmaster older platforms. So I think you almost have like, do you want the performance bagger frame fork mounted fairing, or do you want the classic air cooled, with tubular, front suspension? Those are your options. And if you're not a super aggressive rider and those aren't something that's interesting to you, there's no need for it. And you love your air cooled motors, maybe you just hop them up with some cams or whatever, and you're just good with that. That can be done very easily still. But there is people, Les, you probably saw it when you were a street glide rider. There's people that are just bone to the death. They're street glide guys. They're not road glide guys. And there is a hand-to-hand road glide versus street glide, and there's a rivalry. So the Challenger being a fixed fairing performance bagger has not spoke to a lot of street glide riders. So having the Chieftain PowerPlus, a performance bagger with a fork mounted fairing, now there's a lot of street glide people, I would assume, that might entertain the idea. Before, it's to their soul that they don't like frame mounted fairings. Chris, you're glossed over, bro.
I'm what?
You're glossed over. You're like, hang on, we got to change this conversation. No.
I actually was.
He's taking it all in.
I'm taking it all in, and also I actually was looking at the frame rate that Les was on. I think his camera was overheating for a second. I was like,
oh, I saw that.
Yeah. So I was looking at that.
Yeah.
And
it was fuzzing up.
Yeah, so I think that's really who the PowerPlus Chieftain speaks to. It speaks to the performance bagger that doesn't like the Challenger. A lot of people don't like the look of it, or the Pursuit for that matter. There's a lot of people. Listen. I had a Victory Magnum before this, and I liked looks of it better than the Challenger. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the Challenger, and because of how it rode, and then she grew on me, and now I enjoy it, and it's all great. But there's a lot of people that don't go that far. They don't get a chance to test it out and ride it like I did. Where the Chieftain now that, hey, now it speaks to them. And they're going to say, oh, wait, okay, I'm a Street Glide CVO fan. Inverted front forks, 3 inches of travel, ride modes, the 100 and whatever horsepower. And now they're going, wait a minute, PowerPlus Chieftain has inverted front forks, has 5 inches of travel in the rear, has blah, 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 whatever, right? and they're going to be like, wait a minute, it's also 30 grand, or, 30 grand versus 50 grand. So I think it opens them up. Or the person that really would love to have the CVO and maybe they can't do it, right? But now the Challenger gets them all of that for the same price of their Street Glide, or Challenger, sorry, PowerPlus Chieftain, and gives them that performance option where they don't want the Challenger. They also probably don't want a Road Glide either. They're probably looking at that CVO RR going, oh, that's a nice bike if it wasn't a fucking stupid fixed fairing Road Glide, ugly, shark nose fairing, blah blah blah, right? We have all heard it. So anyway, that's my point. Sorry, I dropped the F-bomb, but
no, you're fine. At Indian, our local dealership, somebody bought one of the actual Chieftain's PowerPlus, and he ordered it in, and he had got it already, and he traded in a CBO Harley, and on it, when he got home, he called the dealership and said, "Hey, I'm gonna take this motorcycle back." No, he said, "Holy cow, this is the best darn motorcycle I've ever rode ever." That's what he said. The suspension's great. The power's freaking great. I mean, the guy, I hope I'm not yelling, but I'm just saying. But he was excited, and I wanted to, say the kind of, the way he would have said it on the phone. And Aaron was like going like this from the phone. He's like, "Holy cow, this guy's so excited about this." No, I wasn't there actually when he called, but he was very excited, and Aaron couldn't believe the actual review the guy gave him. I mean, he couldn't get him off the phone because he was talking about how good this motorcycle was. And he traded it in with from a CVO. So you're right.
CVO in for that one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So you're right. I mean, it does. You look at that motorcycle, and it does. That Harley-Davidson, it does look like a nice Indian, PowerPlus high performance freaking machine, man. So
yeah, it is. So Alec just said that Indian nailed the suspension. So Alec, he owns a Lowrider ST and Monoshock. The Lowriders are a Monoshock, and I think that people sleep on how good Monoshocks are. And Alec loves his suspension game, and I rode his bike, and I thought it was really good. Inverted front forks, Monoshock thought it was good, and he upped it from there. Even like he made it better. And so it is fun. Like my favorite thing was a couple years ago when Harley-Davidson goes, "We increased the rear travel suspension by 50%, from 2 inches to 3." And I'm like, if you increase it another 50%, you have an Indian suspension at 4.5 rear inches of travel. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
But by the way, I'll say one other thing. That's one of the downfalls, in my opinion, of the Sport Chief, is that it's not a monoshock. And I'm a fan of monoshocks for rear suspension, obviously rear suspension. But yeah, it's kind of funny how like our big baggers are all monoshock rear, and then our mid-size Chiefs and Scouts and stuff like that are all the dual shock, one push, one pull, however it works. I'm not exactly sure. Piggyback systems. And then Harley goes, all their mid-size are all monoshocks, and then their big baggers are the opposite, whatever. It's so funny how they just don't want to jump it. Here's the other thing. What would Harley look like if they came out with a big liquid cooled full-size motor? Everybody's going to be like, "Oh, you're copying Indian." So they have to time it right. I think Indian probably worries about that too. If they would have came out with the big dash this year, just pretend, I don't know if that's even in the future, but just pretend they came out the full digital dash, everybody would have said Indian's just copying Harley.
Yep.
So I think you got to play that fine game, and BMW is not big enough in the game. Nobody's talking about how BMW did it before Harley-Davidson, but that's also
it looks almost exactly the same, actually, the same screen.
It has to be the same. It's not touchscreen though. Is the Harley's touchscreen? I think it is, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
BMW's is not. I rode their bagger, and the whole time I'm like, why isn't this freaking working? I'm like,
yeah.
But anyway, so.
Yeah, I think I remember the guy actually dragging stuff over to the screen where you can put it wherever you want it to be.
Okay.
I mean, it has different, areas that you can customize and stuff. Because you can have the actual, which I thought was cool, like you can get CarPlay, I think, if not mistaken. I know they were having issues with it, but you can take 1/3 or 3/4 of the screen, have the map, the like navigation system, and you can have the speed over here, which looks pretty cool. Especially
I freaking love what they did. So they make how there's ride modes. They did ride modes into their infotainment center. So for example, when you put it in sport mode, you see a really big RPM gauge and a speedometer gauge, and then like a small map and a small this and a small that. But then you put it in tour mode, not the actual motor that you leave in sport mode, because why else would you be in anything else? But you'd put the display in tour mode, and like you said, 3/4 of it turns into the actual map, and then the other quarter is whatever you want, right? The radio that you're listening to. And then there's like a standard mode where it's a little bit more even. I think it's freaking great. I love that, how they did that. Yeah, I mean, the greatest thing is that everybody, Harley and Indian, are doing great things every day. And they had to keep one-upping each other. It's very known. So the Challenger came out in 2020. By the way, you tell me when you need to let you go. I'm looking at the time. The Challenger came out in 2020. And I forget who the head guy is for Harley-Davidson. I can't remember his name. Anybody got it offhand?
Willie G?
No, not Will. Not that high. The CEO or whatever, CFO or whatever.
Oh,
anyway,
I don't know.
the German dude.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I couldn't say it.
So he came out in 21 and he said, we were not planning on doing these bikes, but we had to make a change. Yeah, I wonder why. Because what came out in 2020? The Indian Challenger, you know? So that's what I like. So Harley dropping this bike. Alec, I think you missed the part. I just want to say to everybody that new RR is freaking, obviously I've never rode it. I am so impressed by the stupid thing. It is ridiculous. Even every bolt is a 6, 8, or 10. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They're crazy. They're like, no, because you need 3 tools to take this bike apart. 6, 8, or 10, that's it. And then the freaking, like we talked about, the swing arm, the inverted front forks, even the mid controls, those are all billet aluminum. I mean, they didn't skip out on anything. I thought it was, I think it's awesome. Now, $100,000, it better be awesome, right?
Well, and I think they played it well too, because a lot of people are going to say, you know, I can't afford that bike, but man, that bike looks damn good now. And what can I do to, you know, put parts on and make it kind of similar, you know? So now they're going to have maybe some buyers, just because, you know, it's almost like a buyer's remorse. I can't buy that, but I'm going to buy this, and I'm going to try to upgrade it to get to that.
And make it into that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
And I think it's possible, you know. I mean, it's kind of fun. You're talking about Kyle from Forever Rad. He took a Challenger and made it into a track bike. You know, he did that, and people do it. I don't know how much those bikes are that Kyle puts together, but I bet they're not cheap either.
Yeah, I think he's what's he in, St. Louis or something?
He is in St. Louis. Yeah, he's in Missouri. Yeah.
There goes Alex. He says something for you.
Yeah, he does rant. It's pretty funny because I'll leave him in my videos. I do chats, and Alex is a cool dude, and we have a good time when we're, you know, he helps me out, and I'm hoping to do, you know, this spring we're gonna do some more dyno fun stuff and all that good stuff, you know, because that's always fun to see what actually the science is. You know, I always say we do it for science, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Well, yeah, I mean, I appreciate you coming on here tonight. I mean, this kind of just derailed everything we were planning on, but I think this turned out better.
Yeah, a whole lot.
Yeah, so I do appreciate you coming on. I mean, this is awesome. You're able to come on here anytime, you know. So, and I'm sure we can, you know, do a collaboration where I can come on yours and that kind of stuff. I'm not popular though. I'm not going to be bringing anybody with you. With me.
But hey, listen, I'm all for it, man. I'm always all for it. I just haven't been able to set it up yet. Like, just to commit. You know, I'm on an on-call schedule.
Yeah.
And I don't always know it. I worked today, matter of fact. I got off at like 4:00 this afternoon. So I've only been home a couple of hours, you know. So.
I mean, there's so much entertainment with this, you know, with doing the motorcycle stuff and that kind of stuff, and you got a full-time job. I mean, just never get that, you know, burnout feeling. You know, don't ever get that. You know, every day just figure out something, you know, better to do, something different to do, that kind of stuff. Because I see so many people that, you know, every day they're pumping it every day. You can't do it 100 times. What I'm saying. You can't do it 100% every day. But I know you, because every time I text you, what are you doing? You're editing. I'm glad you keep on putting videos out. I mean, you're getting more and more popular. I mean, you do a lot of great things for, Indian and, organizations, like the honor and that kind of stuff. But, like I said, I can't say enough kind things. I mean, you were pretty much our first biggest guest, I think. And then we had Finesse after that. And I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you were the first. And I appreciate that, helping us out. So,
listen, man, let's grow. Yeah. Listen, rising tide raises all ships, right? So, so I'm good with it, and I know Max keeps telling me to get you guys in on some of these like press events and stuff. Listen, if Indian would listen to me, we'd be on another level. All right, they don't listen to me, but I'm gonna tell them. We'll see.
It's all good. Yeah, Max is crazy.
Just keep telling them.
Yeah,
keep telling them.
I just keep telling them.
Yeah.
So my grandpa told me once, if you're trying to get a job, just keep going back and ask them and make them to the point where they just hire you to shut you the hell up. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's my story of my life.
I'll tell you a story. So, I guess over in UK, they have some kind of affiliate program over there in Indian. Okay. So it didn't say UK or anything like that. So I just sent out this email and invited them. Hey, I'm doing this podcast. We're both Indian riders, blah, blah, blah. And a guy sends me back. I mean, like instant. I was like, holy cow, it ended up being some guy, RP guy over in Europe, England. I still got the email. And he goes, well, this is the UK or Europe division. You need to send it this one. I never got a response, but it was so cool to see that guy actually, send a, marketing, like whatever it was. That guy actually responded, and I actually sent him an email back, and he, we responded a couple times, but I thought that was so cool. A big company like Indian, and at that time we might have only had 70 subscribers. But it's a work in progress. We know it's slow. I mean, there's some people that have been doing it for 3 years and they only have 1,000 subscribers. We're almost halfway there. So I'm thinking we're actually getting there faster than some people. So people do like our content, and especially with the rides, that's coming up in the summer that we'll have some fun, doing some fun rides. Nothing dangerous. If we do anything dangerous, it'll be in Mexico. But
oh jeez.
On a closed course.
On a closed course, definitely a closed course. But like I said, the friendships. The biggest thing about this thing is there's people that I watched on YouTube that I have now talked to in real life. Not met them in real life, but screen to screen. Unless it's the same way. I mean, I watch all these guys. I mean, when I did the research on my Indian motorcycle. I mean, you're one of the ones that came up first, the Finesse and that kind of stuff. And I just kept watching back and forth. And that's what made me actually buy an Indian motorcycle, over a Harley, because I was test driving one at the same time, actually the same day. And I just said, yeah, let's go. Let's go Indian. And my wife said, you've always wanted an Indian. Go get the damn Indian.
That was your Scout, right? That was a Scout?
No, that's when I bought the actual Challenger. I mean, I normally, I'll tell you the truth. I got the Vulcan S, okay?
Okay.
And then I got the actual Chief. I got a Chief. So I own the Vulcan S. The newer one.
22 plus? Okay.
Yeah. But I didn't get the Ride Command one. And that's what I really wanted. It was during COVID, and I never was happy with it because I like technology. You're not a technology person like I am. I love the technology. So I was like, I want the Ride Command. So I'm going to trade up. So I went and got the Challenger. I traded in. I lost some money, tell you the truth, but it was worth it. The Challenger is the best motorcycle I've ever bought. I mean, I love that damn thing. It's awesome. And there's hardly anybody who's got one in my neighborhood. Everybody else got Harleys.
Where Connie told you, hey, you like that Indian, just go buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I Heather told me that on the 17, so I went and bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we looked at the 23 and she says, just buy it. So we got the 23. And then we looked at the 24 and she goes, if that's the one you want, just buy it. So I went from 17 to 23 to 24. And the other day we were over looking at the Roadmaster and she goes, don't buy it. So she won't tell me to buy anything anymore because I probably would.
Yeah. I think when we first met, you guys were just watching, just looking for a new motorcycle, or just looking at him because he was just in there looking. And then by the time he came to the IMRG meeting, because I never met him before until I gave him one of my business cards, and he came to the IMRG meeting, and guess what? He bought the damn bike.
I think that might have been when I was trying to go from the 17 to the 23. I think it was.
Yeah.
Might have been when we were doing that.
Yeah, because you didn't like the fairing, the wind was coming underneath you or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
No, the 17 was good. It was the old style fairing. I went to that the smaller limited fairing on the 23. Didn't like it as well, and so yeah.
So you're in the 24 now? Roadmaster again?
Yeah, 24 Roadmaster.
Classic.
But isn't it the same? Isn't the same fairing?
No, on the limited, the 23 I had was a limited, so it has the taller front wheel, smaller front fender. The fairing is different. It's a little more open, but the wind management's completely different.
And what are you in now? You're on a 24 Roadmaster
Classic.
So you have the big round with the blinker built in. Okay, yeah. Completely different fairing. Okay, that's where I was mixed up because I was like, man, that 24 and that 23 should be the same. I don't know where that wind is coming from.
Yeah, the 17 had the old style, or the one with the lights, integrated lights, the driving lights, everything in it. The 23 did not. It had that newer limited style fairing.
More like the Chieftain.
So what is your opinion on the just looks factors of the new fairing on the PowerPlus Chieftain Roadmaster? You like them or no?
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. My favorite thing is that they did the PowerPlus divots. I keep saying that, but they're like, there's like the little kind of like the same divots that are in the Challenger.
Oh yeah.
Also on the Chieftain. I love that they did that. And I actually I got to talk to Ola, the head designer for Indian Motorcycle, when I was in Vegas, and he said that he did that on purpose, and he kind of whatever, and I was just like, dude, it's one of my favorite things that you guys did. By the way, also the inner fairing, like the dash per se, is simple, but I freaking love it on the new one. And it was a big public thing. He wasn't just talking to me about this, but it wasn't private or anything. He said he was going for the old American sports car look, a little bit square, a little round, like the big analog gauges. I think he hit it out of the park. I really think it's great. It'll be interesting to see if like Jason DeMent for Brave Wolf Custom can make an inlay in the middle of that. I thought that could be really cool. But other than that, I freaking thought that he really did a great job on that. So
I think somebody had one with a hold on a second, I got it. Fish is the reason I bought my Challenger in 2022. Yeah. Our Indian Ventures. That's what he said. What was I going to say? Oh, Foretta Rad actually put a new what do you call it, that light he did in the new Chieftain already? I can't remember
LP6 light.
Yeah,
the Baja Design LP6.
Yeah, he put that in there already. I didn't really it sticks out a little bit more than I liked, but it looked pretty cool. But anyway, there's a red one that somebody's did a custom already. It's got I think number 26 on it, and it has T-bars, and it still has the original dash. I'm trying to figure out. I can't remember if there was enough room when I was at the dealership to do that. Maybe he's got a custom dash on it already, but he had T-bars on that thing, on that Chieftain.
So Kerry Hart did that, and I got to sit on that bike, and it is not custom dash. It's what it is. There's a plate that goes from underneath, and then it just kind of like comes up right in front of you. If Kerry rides that bike, which I know he has in Daytona, you can't there's no way you're using that navigation system. You can't see the screen at all. Like, it is completely blocked. If you can see it, I mean, I obviously just sat on it and I didn't like get to ride it, and maybe there's a way you start peeking over or something and you start to like, you start to know your own language, but there's no seeing the dash from any practical area.
Wow.
I'm going to just say it like that. But it looked really cool. I'll admit that. I mean, I actually really enjoyed that build. I got to a good up close and look at it when I was in Vegas, and yeah, that was Kerry Hart that did that. So,
well, we've been on here almost 2 hours, bro. I think
you've been on there for 2 hours. I haven't quite been, so we got a couple more minutes.
Yeah, we got a couple more minutes. But I appreciate you coming on. What do you want to talk about? The last 5 minutes.
Last 5 minutes, man. How about dumbest riding mistakes that I'm guilty of? Okay, I'll say mine. I'll just say mine. Okay?
There you go.
We can't derail your whole show. All right.
I'm gonna have to do another one this week.
all right. You guys can do it. You guys can do another one, but I'll do mine. Let's see. I would say I will say the time I was in my motorcycle accident.
Okay.
And this is nobody's real big fault, except we got kind of compliant. So I was in a big group, 6, 7, 8 of us or something. I can't remember, 7 of us, 6 of us. I was leading the group and I didn't make a decisive turn. We were going to a gas station and there was an entrance to the gas station. The first entrance, there's 2 entrances. I get to the first one and I look in there and we're going slow. Like for reals, I swear to God on my life, we were going like 20 miles an hour, right? We were going real slow. And I look in and the whole parking lot is in South Dakota is all gravel. And I'm like, man, and there's a lot of motorcycles in there getting gas. And I'm like, what the heck? So I look up the road and I see another gas station. And so I'm like, I'll just go to that gas station. Why play in the gravel if I could just go to the other gas station, right? And I got to the second entrance and I was like, I bet you they don't have premium. And that's why everybody's dealing with gravel. Why would everybody fight in gravel if they could just go to the other gas station? So I did turn my blinker on and I slowly turned in, and my buddy, like best friend in the world, like brother, he's even the guy that does all my intro music to every video I do. It's his band. So he hit me in the side and I got ejected off the bike and whatever. We both got kind of messed up. So I'll say dumbest thing I did was not be decisive and not take that first entrance. And I should have hand signaled. I think I'd have got his attention better with a hand signal. So that's my quick story. If you guys want to tell yours, we can end it that way. But that's I don't know if it's my number one, but that's one of them that I'm guilty of.
Yeah.
My dumbest thing was test riding my bike after putting on sprocket and chain in slip-on tennis shoes and shorts. No shirt. This is back in the mid '80s.
Yeah.
And the bike went out from under me, and I had road rash. I ground my whole left butt cheek off. It was
oh my gosh,
bad. It was bad.
Now I know why you walk right.
I'm still limping from that.
My left butt cheek looks like I'm related to J-Lo. My right butt cheek is nothing.
Well, no, it looked like hamburger. It was bad.
Yeah.
But you never know how much you would miss one of your butt cheeks until you can't utilize it. So, so when you're sitting sideways like this for like 6 weeks at a time, because you can't sit on the damn thing. There's no skin on it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, what's yours, bro?
Mine is the dumbest thing is when you have your wife on the back of the motorcycle, because I've only been riding for 3 years. Is we went to eat and there was a train, and it's kind of similar to what you just did, but
decisive, yes,
decisive. So I decided I ain't waiting for the damn train. I was gonna jump it. No, I'm kidding. So I tried to do a U-turn, and there was a culvert in the middle of the U-turn, and when I turned, I didn't realize my pegs, my highway pegs were down, and they wasn't the big Indian ones. Sort of huge, and they wasn't in the right angle. I didn't know you had to put them 45. So in case they did drag on the ground, they would come up. So I got caught on that damn thing, and I dropped the bike doing it about 5 miles per hour. And my wife went falling, and everybody in the park. It was like a bunch of birds, just flew up. So everybody's like, oh my God, there's a bike accident right there. So everybody's running over. And it was the slowest freaking accident ever. But everybody just heard the noise. So they didn't know how fast I was going or anything like that. There was no damage to the bike. There was nothing. It was no damage to my wife, actually. That was the most important thing. She jumped onto the seat, onto my back, kicked me in the head.
I did not.
I'm just kidding. I had to make it sound a little bit better. But
I did jump, though.
But the other thing I would like to share, because it's more a riding bike, and I know a lot of people always they pull that front brake, but I was riding a bike one time and a dog started chasing me. And I know this is not a motorcycle, but it's kind of similar. And I was going down a hill, and it was a big freaking hill, and it was gravel, like you said, gravel. And I jerked that freaking front brake, and I had rocks in my head, forehead, all the way down to my back, because I flipped over the bike and slid, kind of similar, but it was a bike, bike riding, but I was trying to outrun that damn dog, man. That dog was nipping at my ankles, and his name was Elroy.
So Chris, Connie says you still have rocks in your head.
I do.
Yes, he does. Trust me.
You want something in your head. That's all he has is rocks in his head.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be nice with the new bikes. They got the matching brakes, that kind of stuff. So yeah.
So I'll say something. I've talked about this. Maybe you've seen in the video. I was wondering if you could do a rolling burnout.
Oh yeah.
They say that the link brakes don't kick in until you've been at a certain speed, but I didn't get that speed. So I think I was like 15 or 20, but I'm guessing I could be completely wrong, but I thought that was interesting. So standing burnout's real easy. So also, this is what I think we should end the podcast with.
Okay.
I think we should all keep doing dumb things on motorcycles, but let's just not get hurt and let's learn from them, right?
Yeah.
You can't be scared to do a dumb thing sometimes. And if it was just dropping your bike, it's not a big deal. The big deal was your wife's on the back, and then she has to like tumble off or, arm, elbow drop you from the back, which she was probably okay with. But if we keep doing dumb things and we can learn from them, we'll do less dumb things. It's the people that don't ride ever, and then when they do a dumb thing, it's a big bad dumb thing at once, and they don't have opportunity to learn from it. It's kind of like if you watch my most recent video, first thing I did in Vegas, I jumped on this PowerPlus Chieftain. I've never rode it before. First thing I did was I went and did U-turns, circles, to try to understand. I'm rusty. I haven't rode technically very much in this whole winter, Yeah. So practice, practice, even if you have ADHD and you're waiting for less at the gas station, go around the pumps a few times if it's empty, go. And by the way, we're all good one way and we all suck at the other one. So do both ways.
Ain't that the truth?
Everybody has their one way. They're like, oh, I could go left all day long. No problem.
NASCAR driver.
Go right. And it turns into a 3-point turn.
Yeah.
So practice both ways. And I think that's probably the dumbest thing that all of us do is we don't practice. And it's important. It's easy to go down the highway. Anyway, that's it. I don't want to take over your show, bro. But
oh man, you're fine, man. Awesome. I appreciate you coming on. Yeah, you saved the show.
Save this tonight. Save the show, man.
Make
Well,
you think twice.
Send
me a link again.
Oh man, I really appreciate it. But anyway, thanks for coming
From
on.
the roar of the engine to the freedom of the.
Let's do that. That was the wrong one. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. We got to end with the music. Hey, if you're just now watching, I'm just tuning in. Hey, the show's over, but we got 2 hours of great content before this. I'll probably cut it up, split it up, upload it a little bit, be a little bit easier on people using the the restroom, the pool, or whatever it is when they're watching their camera, or not camera, their video. But either way, thanks for coming on. Like and subscribe and share this podcast. Share Ride and Fish. You got a channel at Ride and Fish on YouTube. It's got great content. He's actually an Indian ambassador, man, and a great friend of ours to the show. Yep.
We are, and we're gonna try to get together this summer.
Yep.
Yes, that's great.
We're definitely gonna do that. Yep. All right, everybody have a good night, and I'll see you guys later.